Hello, welcome. A bit of a hot drop this one, a bit of a last minute decision. After working on videos, scripts, etc. and bits and bobs, I nearly got old palette cleanser and clearly I haven't learnt my lesson from Tuesday. I'm back for more Porsche Cup. Maybe we might get 3-4 races back to back. But anyway, let's have a look. Let's have a good time. And first of all, let's actually run a lap, not run a single lap, since Tuesday's stream ended. 8 back-to-back races in Porsche Cup that was, for nearly 8 hours. So it was quite an experience.
5 kilometers per hour.
Yeah, I can tell my butt kicker's not turned on. I do miss that. Where is it? Where's that remote? There it is. What? Yeah. Butt kicker on. That's more like it. Straight into qualifying. No time to warm up, no time to nothing. Straight in.
Exit's clear, don't cross the white line. Okay, Daniel, we've got 2 laps to set a decent time.
This is fun. Such a good car, this. Love it. Picks up butter. Thanks for dropping in. Breaking a seal with that message. it's a little ways off my personal best, but oh well. I feel like it was a couple of attempts dropped in that last sector. Too wide on the last turn.
E3.
Hey Smith. Going good. So this Tuesday just gone, 2 days ago, did a all day long Porsche stream, which was fun. It's the first time I've done like a, you know, like a standard stream, if you know what I'm saying. And it was good. Loved it. I think it'll become a regular Tuesday thing, but this afternoon just really fancied this. Scrappy. I don't think that's going to move us up much. Yeah, Jack Doohan. Okay. Got Jack Doohan on the grid. As you do. But it puts us 5th. This looks like a strong gold grid. But fancy that. I'm just going to crack the window. Need some cool air in here. I'm like a bird. I'm very temperature sensitive. Window. Window. That'll help out. Now, how are you guys this morning then? Well, it's nearly afternoon. Just about to tick over, isn't it? So we've got Maxim Soldatov, very, very fast guy. Flipping heck, a second, over a second quicker. He was absolutely flying. He is a fast man. And obviously Jack Doohan, we all know who he is. Cole Chambers, Piotrek, Yannick, and then me. So 6th is the lowest grid position I've qualified so far this week, but obviously people have warmed up. They're on the pace, got a bit more practice in, whereas I cracked it on Tuesday daytime. People haven't really had a chance to sort of get their teeth into it on a Tuesday. So I'm expecting the competition to be tougher. But the races in turn to be even more exciting than they normally are. That would be brilliant. So
that's the end of the session. 6th place.
This is the fixed setup Porsche Cup, and then the open setup Porsche Cup will be at 1:45, and then the fixed setup is 2:45. Open setup again at 3:45. I might just squeak in of one in at 4:45. There's every chance. But yeah, let's go. Head on to the grid. Stick trading paints on. But isn't that cool? Got Jack Doohan on the grid. That's what I like about iRacing. Every now and then you just bump into people. It's like collecting football stickers. So I've had Max Verstappen on the same grid once before. He was at the head of a formation lap pack. That was a pretty cool experience. Just to think, I'm trundling around the formation lap and at the head of the pack is Verstappen. That was pretty cool. God, they're leaving it late to grid, ain't they? Some kind of strategy. Here we go. Oh, it's still so exciting.
The air temp is 20 Celsius, 13 laps. Okay, Daniel, be ready. Green, green, green.
Yeah, good launch, good launch. There might be a space opening up on the right. There we go. There's enough there. Move over slowly to not to catch it by surprise. If I can hold on the inside here, I might be able to squeak in past Piotrek. He's moving to defend. I think he wants to avoid that. Good. Got another space left.
Clear left.
Whether I can hold on to it is another matter. Hopefully Kevin starts nipping at his heels, slowing him down. Up to 4 from 6.
Great start, well done.
I've got to be careful, the tyres are really cold and fresh. A little bit of a wiggle from Piotrek. I want to move to the middle just to defend. I don't want to give him the opportunity to lunge in like I did to him, basically. If his pace is genuinely good, then we're still toast, but anything can happen. He can mess up on cold tyres, give us some breathing room. There we go. I have a feeling the front three are definitely going to run away with it. Oh, what do I do here? Gonna stay in the middle, fairly defensive. I don't think he's close enough to make a lunge though, so I'm not gonna try and close him off and compromise my exit. But that was a really big wiggle from me. Need to be careful about the corner exit traction. He's right behind me. Hey, just any. Hello, my name.
Right side.
Is there enough space there? Yeah, there is. Okay, fair enough.
Well done, Daniel.
Can I hang it on the outside?
Come on, keep your focus. V4. Car right.
I think he's got it.
He's still there. Still there. Still there. Clear right.
He's got it. Ah, well done, Piotrek. You got it fair and square, to be honest. He got a run on me, kept on the inside. I can't really moan at that. That was a really good move. I just need to wait and see now to see if there's any weaknesses in his approach. Really would like to drop Kevin. Penalties? Yeah, there are penalties, but nobody's been slapped with any. Pace is good from Piotrek in front. A little bit of a slide, a really slow slide, to the sort that could creep up on you. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, I think Piotrek is gone. Now it's just about keeping Kevin behind. He's 0.6 behind us.
last lap was at 151.5.
Ah, Cole Chambers. He's just lost the rear end. Lost the rear end exiting turn 2. It's such a big problem. This is actually one of the corners that's a big problem for me. Oh, unless he got tagged, because Maxim's saying sorry in the chat. So maybe that wasn't unassisted. So 2 cars ahead of us. So in front of us is Piotr, but in front of him is Jack Doohan. If you're just joining us. So clearly he spends his off time spends his days off doing Porsche Cup and iRacing. Hey Scott. Seven, we've got Maxim out in front, massively quick fella. He was in a couple of our races on Monday, no, not Monday, Tuesday. And behind him, Jack Doohan. I know I've said it like 4 times, but it is cool, isn't it? Just to be on track with folks that are in the real world of racing, especially that high up. It's cool to see. Piotrek in front of us, never raced him before this week, so I'm not sure where he lies. The tyres can just about last the full stretch if you do push them hard, and they do start to get really weary towards the end. A bit like my voice did in that sentence just then. Kevin Teal is glued to the rear end behind us, 0.5 behind. Close enough to be a nuisance. Any mistake and he's going to be trying to poke his nose in. But it wouldn't be Porsche Cup if it wasn't stressful.
The gap in front has increased to
0.7. Looks like he dropped a couple of turns there because he's fell back into the grits of Cole Chambers. Brake balance feels good, that's really important in Porsche Cup. I don't think we're going to catch the back of Piotrek unless he puts a foot wrong, but it can always happen, and that 2-second gap between me and him is enough to take his place away from him if he does. You know, these cars are difficult. Mistakes can come from almost any direction at any time, but that includes for me, so I need to concentrate.
The gap to Chambers behind is now 0.8.
Hey Tobias. Yeah, clutch bite point, I think, if I remember correctly, it's about 44%. About 44% and the full throttle. And to engage the start, I'm using the, the iRacing's sort of start launch button, the one that they implemented, so you can use it with just a clutch pedal, and you don't need dual clutch pedals. That's what I've got on at the minute. Seems to be working really well. That was a great start to that race, that was. Okay, so I'm going to switch my delta to session last lap. This tells you how much quicker or slower I am compared to the last lap. So I'm 4 tenths slower on this lap than I was last time, so clearly chatting is slowing me down. So I'll be quiet for a minute until we can get that air gap to Kevin behind.
Let's see how wide you can make this then.
Better exit. I don't think it's going to be close enough to challenge, but I want to cover the inside to turn 2. I'll just drop. That wasn't a very good turn 1 for me. I'm going to move over and cover.
Car right. To your right.
He tried. He tried. I gave him the room. Just doing one click front brake bias, I think, because I think it's a little bit too rear heavy. I think that's causing the car to just scoop up and lift on some of these quicker turns. And if you do that too much, it just makes the car worse. Right, here he comes then from another postcode.
He's still there. On your right. Still there.
That was just too far away.
Still there.
All day long. Better launch off the corner than Kevin.
Still there.
Oh no, it's Cole, we just sent it. Okay, fair enough. Sorry Kevin, I besmirched your clean name, but that was a very, very... That wasn't really on, was it? But we'll wait and see. We'll wait and see what he does. Hi Will. Because personally, that overtake that he just moved on us then, shoulder barging us off to the outside of the track, I wouldn't be proud of that. But I'll give him a chance to explain himself. Right, 2.5 tenths quicker than I was the previous lap. And Cole was one of the top 3 cars. He might have been second at the time he was punted off. There's every chance his tyres could be crying towards the end, and we might get him back.
Teal behind is now 0.9.
Yeah, Tobias, I'll have a little, I'll check the options for the clutch bite point after the end of the race, remind myself what they are. And for those of you that are confused about what that means, then stick around as well, because I'll give you a quick crash course on what it does. That down's the 5th then. That's where iRacing thinks we should be. So can't really say I'm hard done by. Good, got a nice little cushion to Kevin's seal now then. What a brilliant start that was. Every Porsche Cup race has had a really nice highlight to it. Sometimes there's long battles that last a long race. Sometimes there's just very, very short but sweet moments, and that's definitely one of them. This is Snetterton. To be specific, it's for Snetterton 300 layout, because there's a couple of layouts that I use at this track. It's in England, and I really like it. I love Snetterton. He's got some great corners.
That lap time was 1:49.9.
Oh, bit of a wiggle from Cole up ahead. He's definitely pushing very hard, but that could come back to bite him. Could be pushing too hard. Maybe whatever happened at the start to bump him down from the front of the grid to fourth. Could be some red mist. Spooky tree. Yeah, it does look nice and green, but the time in the sim is like 10 to 8 in the morning. I don't think anybody would accept that in real life. Neighbours would be popping off. So there's still a little bit of blood in the water regarding Cole. He's been pushing really hard to get past people, and he's had a couple of danger wiggles every now and then. So I need to stay on him. So good. Danger wiggles. It's a good name for a dog. Like a nickname. Like if they're a dog and they've got a tail that knocks over your drinks and everything like that from a coffee table, call them Danger Wiggles. Rosie does that, to be fair. That's why we don't have a table. Cole is dropping us slightly, and my pace has been slipping just a tiny bit. Now maybe this is intermission. Well, I'm really happy with the drive. Very clean, no lockups, no snatching of any brakes, no nothing. For the most part, it's been clean enough to eat your dinner off it. tenths quicker than last lap. Ah, that was good. Oh, when it's good, it's good.
2 laps left. Sector
Yeah,
1,
best lap
2
of the session, that.
3 off the pace. Sector 3 is 0.4 off the pace. Okay, now your times are pretty consistent.
Kevin is still right there. He's closer to us than we are to Cole. Yeah, but which Mario Kart music though? Because, you know, there's many. Hey Dusty. I was addicted to Mario Kart on the SNES, like the original Mario Kart. I loved that. Clean that. Hi Fishy, thank you very much. Appreciate you taking the time to drop some kind feedback. Every single one of you does that. Legends.
Last lap.
Much appreciated. Temps up on the last lap, but still not making any headway on Cole. Tips for this track. Whoop. That's the first little wide bit. Good job, this is last lap. Yeah, when it's raining, stay the hell out of first gear. Stay the hell out of first gear. That's another thing that's just reminding me of. So, the fixed setup series, so the fixed side of Porsche Cup, which is what I'm on now, doesn't appear to have any rain. Like, no chance of rain. It's dry to make sure that people are okay with it. But the open setup series, right, this is last. No, this is the last lap, so we're coming to the finish, finally.
Yellow flag.
Whoa. And a very big,
Okay, that's the finish. Well done, mate.
big aggressive lockup from Cole. So let's check out what happened to Cole there. So that's clean, lovely start. That start's definitely going to need a bit of a breakdown. Tips for this track, I would say that, like any track really, brake bias is really important here because there's so many corners where you have to smudge the car in, and if your brake bias is off, and it doesn't line up with how you drive, especially in the Porsche Cup. If it doesn't line up with your general style, then every corner is equally painful. So the start then. So decent launch, decent jump off the line, and remind me, I'll look at that bike point. Decent jump off the line. As soon as I'm clear, I'll move over to the right, but not suddenly, because if I take him by surprise, he could pump me off, and I'll be sent into oblivion from turn 1. And then Piotrek, who's in front of me, he just doesn't cover that inside line, and that's a big mistake. When everybody's at the start, they're all bunched up, they're really opportunistic. So if you're ever in Piotrek's position, you just want to protect that inside, and he doesn't do it aggressively enough, early enough, and he has no choice but to open the door for me. And when so if you look at it from Yannick's point of view, maybe. So on board with Yannick, or maybe Kevin more accurately. If I was Kevin, I would be braking as late as possible to tuck as close behind to the back of my car as I possibly could, because that's an open invitation. If I open the door for you, you can follow me through, and then poor Piotrek ends up losing more and more spaces. So that's what people say when you get freight trained in racing terms. Yeah, it gets hung out to dry on the outside, and there's no real coming back from that. And I don't think he comes back on me either. But just to make sure he doesn't try anything silly to recover it, I move into the middle, so I'm not on the right. I'm roughly in the middle, as if to say, if you're going to make a big lunge, it's going to have to be a big lunge, and people don't want to do that in the Porsche Cup, because if you don't have everything perfectly lined up in the braking zone, you could lock a brake and then you are completely off into the weeds. So bite point, what's my bite point? Clutch, 44% then. So my clutch bite point is 44%, and the launch trigger is set on my wheel. I'll take it off for a second, but it's not lit up at the minute, you can't see it, but I would be using a button that I've labelled DRS, because it kind of just means everything. If I was running Super Formula, then I would change the binding to that. Didn't think that through, did I? But I don't run Super Formula very much at this point in time, so no point worrying about it. So bite point 44%, full throttle, and you press that launch trigger to basically instantly dump the clutch down to that bite point, and then from there I use my actual clutch foot to, if you can see the clutch bar there, once I've pressed that button and the car is moving, I would then release the clutch. All the while I would be using full throttle. So it's pretty simple really, but you just need to kind of run a few test launches. So you need to reset the car to the pits, go to the end of a pit lane and practice launching off that line, because your tyres are cold, same conditions that you would have on a race start. And if a bite point is 43% and it doesn't quite feel right, just move it 1% up or down, but it's roughly in the ballpark of 42, 43, 44, 45. But conditions can change from track to track. Some tracks will have slight elevation changes in the start line. Some tracks will have camber changes that mean that 44% is actually too much or too little. So you may have to tweak it and fine tune it from track to track. That's why they do it in F1. When you see them in practice in FP1 and 2 and 3, they're doing start launches from the end of a pit lane. They're trying to dial in what setting is best for the race start. So that's why you have to do it for yourself too. If you want to get the best possible start, you have to spend a minute or two doing test launches and really zeroing in on what's best for you. So what happened to Cole then? Let's just follow Cole's adventure, because at some point he gets there you go. Okay, so tries a launch on Jack Doohan. It's hard to say. If Cole is legitimately braking as hard as he can and he cannot avoid putting his nose in there, then it's kind of a racing incident. But if he's trying to do an overlap and it just wasn't close enough, and I think Jack was trying to close, like that's a very shallow line. Jack's definitely reacting to close the door on Cole, because take a note of where Maxim is. He's right up there. And where's Jack by the time he reaches the same point of a track? So pretty much when they're alongside these little arrow signs on both sides of a track, that's where Maxim is. Now let's see where Jack is. It's all the way over here. So he's definitely tightening it up to pinch that, basically to slam the door on Cole. Not slam it, but more like tentatively leave the room. But he knows that Cole is coming and he wants to close that opportunity off, and it's just a case of Cole comes off worse. It's a bit of a shame how that happens, but it seems that nowadays iRacing actually makes the car behind more likely to spin than the car in front, which in terms of justice, it's probably better that way. There you go. That's all the excitement from the. That's all the excitement from the race. But just to cut down on hard drive space that I'm taking up here, I'm just going to click the start. There we go. There we go, back again. So the next race is, I'll be just taking a quick 2-minute break. But the next race will commence at 1:45. So I'll be back in a couple of minutes, and then we'll be back into it. I'll join a race pre-practice session, and I'll get warmed up for the next one, because it'll be an open setup and there could be rain. So I need to get in there and practice it and just dial myself in. So back in a couple of minutes. Don't go anywhere. We'll be straight back. Hello, we're back. So just gonna pop registration in. So the next race that's coming up will be Open Series, but also could have weather involved, which would be great. And not only that, but most of the Open Series races, if there is weather, if there is rain, it comes about halfway in, and everybody's on slicks. And definitely had some really interesting races on that rain on Tuesday. Very treacherous. Almost scalped a 9k iRacing driver, which is, that's like stratospheric. Just loading in now. Oh, yeah. Last open race was raining straight from quali. So with the weather system in iRacing now, it's so blooming good. So good. Rain can pretty much happen. You know, if there's a percentage chance, it doesn't mean it's guaranteed. And the timing can change. It can be wetter at one end of a track than another. It can be just a spitting rain. Yeah, so it's wet in this practice session. And the weather pretty much says that in this session it's 100% rain, so you'd be on wets all day long. But that doesn't mean it's going to be the case in the race at 1:45. Could be completely different. So nowadays in iRacing you basically have to have a wet setup to go with the dry. I think that's probably why they don't really do rain in the fixed sessions, because they don't want to have people faffing around with setups. Okay, so that guy that's in the pits isn't coming, so I'm just going to do a quick practice start. There is so much traction under this car, even in the rain.
The track temperature's decreasing. It's now 17 Celsius. The leader was just on a 207.9.
So this feels like a really waterlogged, but also quite well used track. So there's a definite dry and wet line. I bet that guy struggled. If he started on slicks and it was wet all the way, then yeah, wow. But oftentimes, because it's a 13-minute race, unless it's absolutely hammering it down, then it's still faster to start on dries and just manage it from there. But if there's any standing water, then yeah, all bets are off. Wets will always be quicker than dries. This is something that, if you're confused about whether or not you're on the right tyre, experience will tell you. You'll pick it up. Some things are best learned the hard way, and I think that wet weather racing definitely is. But just in case any of you missed it, I did do a video guide essentially explaining the concept of the wet line and dry line. It's not always applicable, but it's a really good place to start, and it might unlock a different way of thinking. Sometimes the wet line isn't really faster, but it makes you a lot less prone to mistakes, and it's just an easier time to drive. Oh, big lock up. Yeah, and we're off. Sailing off. And that guy's not having a good time either.
It's just on 207.5.
That is fun though, it is so fun. And I know I'm ignoring my own advice about staying out of first gear, but I think it's acceptable to be in first if you're kind of tuned in and on wets. I think on slicks you'd never want to be on first in the rain. Five minutes till the next session will crack on. So I'm going to try and drive the dry line. What would be the typical dry line in the wet, and it's just skate central. The problem is that it's really inconsistent. You don't know where the grip is going to drop in and out. Driving on the dry line when the rain is coming is a very stressful experience. In some cases it may be faster, but oftentimes it's just more consistent and manageable to stay on the rough stuff.
Sector 1 is 0.8 off the pace.
I mean, not that rough. And easily the best way, bar none, to really learn the hard way about wet weather racing is go to a rental kart track outdoors in the rain, because they've all got really hard slicks on, and you will learn, and you will see just the dramatic effect of the dry line versus wet line. A couple of minutes to go. Yeah, this is the Inertia seat. It's super comfy. For a bucket seat, it's pretty good. The RS12, I didn't rate it personally. I found it really uncomfortable. I've run out of fuel. Yeah, the RS12 just does not agree with my butt cheeks at all. So I didn't spend very long on it. This seat, the Inertia, is way comfier. But the last time I checked, it was out of stock in the UK. or only the pink one was left in stock. I'm not sure when they're getting new ones in, but it's been out of stock for a while. But yeah, this is a nice bucket seat, and with the seat sliders and the brackets included in that cost, is a really nicely priced bucket seat, because it's not FIA graded, so it doesn't need to be crash resistant and all that kind of stuff, but it's still fiberglass backed. It's a lot like Track Racer's bucket seat in terms of the the build specifications. But yeah, I like it. I spent 8 hours in this, with a couple of breaks to get up and whatnot, but still spent 8 hours streaming. Of course I do. Yeah, the RS12 just gave me a numb bum, I've got to say. Before that I had the GT Omega RS9, and that's really comfy on the butt. It's almost like a leather settee, but the back of it wasn't quite as comfy. It was quite sort of bunched in. A car seat will almost always be comfier, because they're just made to be sat in for a long time. Hey Faisal. But also, Luke, I'm a 36-inch waist, and this seat is pretty much, I think that's the maximum that this seat could really accommodate. 38-inch at a push, but then you're really starting to get kind of squeezed in by the sides that hold your hips in. 36 inches is probably the upper limit, because I sit in this and I got no trouble getting in and getting out of it. But it is sort of like, it's right there on the sort of hips. So if you're 36 inch or under in terms of waist, then should be fine. Right, anybody in here that we know? Yeah, 40-inch waist I think would be too much. No offence intended, but I know my limits, and I would consider this to be the upper edge of my limit. It's comfy, but I wouldn't want it to be any smaller. So we're with a number 2 seeded car in this race, and I have a feeling that the number 1 car will be a guy called, oh no, he's number 3, Khalid Ramadan. I've raced against him before in the UK Sim Racing Porsche Cup League. Very strong, clean racer. Kill Rockstar, butt kickers are blooming brilliant. The setup is not complicated. You'll be glad to know. It is essentially just like any other device, or at least the Gamer Plus model I think is slightly simplified. You got power going into the amplifier, and amplifier, if I heard the word amplifier I would be immediately sort of like, I'd be like, ooh, amplifier, I don't know what they are. It's just a box. It's just a control box.
Your exit's clear.
Power goes into that, the USB connection goes to your PC, and then the kind of connection from the amplifier to the butt kicker is super duper simple. That's partly why, despite Dayton Audio speaker pucks, despite them being a lot cheaper, it's that element of this is a kit that's ready to go that people like about the butt kicker, so I can sympathise with that. Cheers, Faisal. I'm not in a league right now, but the last league that I was in, if you're UK based, then Apex Racing League is a right place to start. But you also have other communities UK Sim Racing is a really good bunch. They're great there. They run GT3 and Porsche Cup. Sim Racing Magazine was the last league I was in a GT4 Cup. And there's another league that the fella there has been really keen to communicate, and I like what they're doing. Seems like they're growing really well. But Evolution Sim Racing, but all the little communities have grown up over time, and I much prefer to contribute to their communities than kind of split and build my own at this point in time. There's a nice little symbiosis there. Luke, I think that'll be the slip angle kit, won't it? They've extended the offer to send a slip angle kit for me to give a go, but I gotta admit my plate is kind of full, so I've told them that I will be back. I will be back to them, but at the minute I got to deal with what's on my plate. Because if hardware keeps on coming through these doors, I'll never get around to it, and I don't want to have anybody sending stuff and then waiting ages and ages for me to kind of give my end result. Got to eat what's on your plate first sometimes. Looks interesting though. Like I said earlier, it's like a pack of Dayton audio pucks, but in a ready to go kit that has everything you need, no need to research. This is the first flying qualifying lap. I don't know where it stands in the grand scheme of things, but it doesn't feel overly quick. 7/10 off my all-time best, but track conditions can change that. I do love to sort of create new connections and relationships with the folks that make the hardware we run. I do find it fun, and also you get to kind of know who's like nice and nice and friendly to deal with, and if they're friendly to deal with for me, then they stand a good chance of being friendly with you. I don't find that there's much selectivism going on. This isn't a very good qualifying lap, is it? Well, let's still hope. There's a chance that all afternoon may have been an exaggeration. I might only be able to go till about 4:30. Depends on when the child returns. So I doubt this is going to be an improvement, but we are on pole at the minute, so yeah, it's going to be pretty much an identical lap. Oh no, yeah, it chopped a few temps off, that's good. Oh, good job we did as well, because the fella behind was going to gun for us. Yeah, so I reckon that the last race today will be the quarter to 4 one, I think, because that'll take me to 4:30, and then that's when I think the wife and child will be back. And is thus the end of the working day. So quick switch to a quick switch to the race 1 setup. The weather is kind of tentative. So at 7:30 AM, as in 3 minutes time in the sim, 90% precipitation, 44%, 61. So there's going to be a shower. The rain is probably going to creep up. Faisal, yes, I am full time these days. Didn't make much of a song and dance about it at the time, but I've been shooting full time since New Year, and most of that has been spent just catching up and getting caught up with all the stuff that I've kind of been wanting to do, and getting onto a level plateau, because doing 2 jobs just about flipping squeezes the blood out of you. So from about 2020, when this channel kind of really started picking up speed in 2020, that's when I kind of uploaded the first video, so to speak. From 2020 until 2024, still had my day job, didn't go on furlough or anything like that, and just kind of juggling the 2. Pinner, got some good news for you though. Oh, hang on a minute, it's raining. Is it actually raining? It's definitely raining. I'm going wets. Wets all day long. Okay. Wet, 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 wet. Wow. Alright then. So the rain has come. Yeah, Pinner, as I was saying, I'm planning to do full day streams on Tuesdays. I think that's a good balance, because I can't just do video editing and scripts and filming it all the time. It feels like I do 90% of that and only 10% of the actual racing, and there kind of needs to be a restoration of balance. Otherwise I'll just go mad, and you kind of lose touch with the very subject you're working with. So yeah, Tuesdays from now on, I think. And Daniel, I do iRacing only. Got to be honest. ACC is sort of like a I dip into it every now and then to kind of provide balance where necessary, especially when I'm doing force feedback setup guides for some bases, because ACC's force feedback is kind of like really marmite for some people, and the videos explaining how to set it up how I like it have been quite nice for views and subscribers. People seem to appreciate that. Here we go. Wet race.
Get ready.
Oh, flying off the line. Wow, okay. That was a really good launch. That's a very, very good launch. I bet I couldn't do that again. So is the track green or not? Is there a wet line? Is there a dry line? Well, let's find out.
Well done, Daniel. Good
No,
start.
looks like the track is green. So that means that there isn't really a distinct wet and dry line.
On your right. Clear right.
Which means that I shouldn't avoid the dry line as much. The wet line is just the same as the dry line here, but slower, because there's not much rubber laid down. and no standing water, no nothing. It's just a track that's been rained on. That might change towards the end of the race, but for now it's just take the normal line, we'll just do it slower. Here we go, 3 tenths behind, Yilin Chang. Whoa, 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 whoa. Very tiny bump then. And he's apologised on the text. It was only a tiny little bump. But I appreciate that. Let's send them a little no problem. T N P enter. There we go. So he's really hung with us on that first lap, but he knows what he's doing. But the track is kind of damp but not wet, so if you go in with a wetline mentality, then you'll lose time and you wonder why. So there is an element of sort of feeling out there what the conditions are like. He's right on us. This is going to be a stressful race, I can just tell. Still there. Even the curbings aren't particularly slippery. It's a fair point. It might just be that they just like what they like, because the safety rating can only go up if you take part in the series that will allow your safety rating to go up. So if all you race is Porsche Cup, then your safety rating will only ever go up to, I'm not sure where Porsche Cup sits. I think it might be a C class series. It's been so long since my safety rating had to be upgraded that I've forgotten. But you know, it's a bit like if all you do is race Formula Fords, then your license is only going to go up to a certain level no matter how safe you are. He's really hanging in there. But the rain is coming down enough to justify those wets, so at least there's that. By the end of this race, there may legitimately be the need to do the wet line. But so far so good, the wet tyres smooth it all out and blend the edges. Nice turn 1. That was very enjoyable. Bit wide. But a good launch out. But they're the sort of little inaccuracies that would embolden me. If I was following me right now, I would look at that and go, oh, he could crack at any moment, and it would just make me a bit like that. It's alright, I meant to do that. Late apex. If you overshoot with this car, just style it out, tighten your apex, and just get a good launch out of it. It's not the end of the world. Still 6/10 behind, like a little shadow. Oh, he's gone. He's gone. I don't know what's happened to him, but he is. I reckon he's had a slowdown. I reckon he's. I reckon he overcooked that bend with the curved braking zone, and he's chopped the track and he's had a slowdown, because it really does kill you there. I won't get complacent.
Increased to 7.0 seconds.
So yeah, I'm on my lonesome now. The threat has kind of gone. So if you've got a question to ask, fire away. Might as well might as well keep busy. Okay, yeah, there is now definitely a lot more moisture here, so the dry line is becoming a bit more dangerous. I like both, Mars or Snickers. I do like both. I never used to like Snickers, but then at some point start to appreciate the complex flavours of the chocolate, the caramel and nut, all concealed in one oblongular package. Faisal, how does it feel being good? Well, I like to think I've got my feet on the ground, and mostly I'm self-aware, but sometimes it does just feel nice to put in decent races, decent performances, but they kind of, it's like it's a way to prove that all the time kind of coalesces into just being able to put in the race pace that I can. There's always somebody faster, but I do like winning, gotta be honest. I think everybody does. Everybody would love to win a race every now and then. I think I spent most of 2023 and 2022 without a single race win. I didn't spend all that much time in the officials, gotta be honest with you. And those that I did were probably spent more in GT3, where the competition is just ultra white hot. You got to be good to win a GT3 race, just because of sheer force of numbers and the concentration of talent that is in there. Kit Kat, the small Kit Kats, the regular old 2-finger, 4-finger bars. I could eat them pretty much back to back all day long. In fact, it's quite a danger. You know, they come in like those packs of 9, the really long packs. I could easily eat all of them in a day, easily. I could eat them all in an hour, to be quite frank. If there was nobody around to watch me, if I was the last guy on earth, I could eat 100 Kit Kats in a day. how long did it take to become sort of competitive from beginner? Well, I'm careful to sort of define the word competitive correctly, because there's always alien competitive and there's sort of augmented human competitive, and it took a good few years, I would say. And those few years that I am talking about, they were spent on Live for Speed when I was about like 17, 18. So I had all the time in the world. I spent loads and loads of time doing it. And although I did loads of Gran Turismo as a kid, Gran Turismo 1 and 2, I don't think it really counts. Gran Turismo gets you interested in cars and track racing, but it doesn't really tell you much. Well, nowadays it's a bit different. Back then it was just with a gamepad and controller. No steering wheels were really good back then. It was all really rubbish. Do I ever get to do any IRL driving on any tracks? Not these days. Back in the day, when I was driving around in an MX-5 with time to spare and money to burn, not a great deal of money, but you know, the odd 500 quid here and there to do a track day. So I've done a couple of track days at Bedford Autodrome in that MX-5, then that blew up at a Bedford Autodrome track day. Now it's really few and far between. I would definitely love to do more, but it's probably not gonna come in any serious capacity without industry help. After that MX-5 blew up, I bought another one, and well, no, that's false. After that MX-5 blew up, I had a Honda S2000 for a while, and did a little bit of auto solo with that. And I enjoyed it, but I always had the feeling that I just missed my MX-5, so I went from a Honda S2000 to an MX-5, and I just loved it more because it was cheaper, didn't have to care so much about it. It was just generally softer. It's a more fun car. Honda S2000 is great, and if I'd have held on to it, it would have been worth double what it was now, but I didn't. Absolutely. There's every chance that I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing now were it not for Gran Turismo, because that just got me hooked into cars and just got me connected to the world of cars and racing in a way that I don't think anything else would. You know, I've got a real snapshot memory. I remember the first time I played Gran Turismo, I was barely, you know, I was probably about 6 years old. And I do remember the first car that I ever touched on Gran Turismo was an MX-5. I didn't know it at the time, but you look back through the flickers of your memory and you realise, oh, that was an MX-5. It's just funny how things work out that way. So yes, we need Gran Turismo, the likes of Gran Turismo and you know, Forza to some extent. You kind of need them to be a gateway hand-holding games to get folks interested in cars and racing that otherwise might not have done. You have to start somewhere. Right, we're on lap 8 to 13, second place. I've been keeping an eye on it because, you know, chatting away, you're not careful, you can get crept up on in the Porsche Cup. Hey Vivo, thanks for dropping by. So you'll never catch me dunking down. You'll never catch me punching down on the likes of Gran Turismo or Forza, because we need them. They are essentially the nurseries of sim racing. People that do sim racing often have to come through them first, and then they are delivered to us. This Gran Turismo is pretty sweet anyway. Right, there's definitely a dry and wet line here now. The dry line is very slippery. You can't see it because there's not enough moisture on the track, but it is there. I can definitely feel it. The steering goes light when the front end slips and the back end kicks out when you cross over it on the corner exit. Like there, front end washes out, rear end scuppers for grip. It's just so good. This reminds me so much of rainy outdoor rental karting on slick tyres.
Into the right, the gap behind us now, 5.3.
Hey Jam, morning to you. Nice to have you with us. So at present, the second place car, Yiling Chang, he was right on us for the first maybe 4 laps. Got me thinking this is going to be a really, really tough race. And you know, I'm not celebrating early here because we can still have a disaster quite easily in the rain. I only need one incident and they could be right on me. But things look pretty safe at the minute, so I can take it easy. But driving the Porsche Cup in the rain is a bit like, right now it feels like carrying your pint to your table on a tray. There's no distinct reason to think that you're going to drop it, but it's just very tentative. Session last lap. That's for session last lap delta up there. Give us something to aim for. But the track is getting worse with every lap. Iconoclast. That is what we call the black hole of sim racing, and for some folks it's a slow pull over many years, and for some it's a rapid descent right into the eye of the storm in like a couple of months, and it's always good. If you know you like something, then you know, don't you? Second place is, you know, he is still gaining. It's not by tons, but if I'm not careful, if I get too complacent here, they're going to be on me. So I need to shut up and drive actually. thing about sim racing kit is that it mostly holds its value. So, you know, if you do change your mind one day, you can just sell it all, and it'll still be worth quite a lot. It's not like a car where you're just chucking thousands of pounds down a financial black hole, but never to be seen again. Sometimes it's worth remembering that if you ever needed that money, you could just sell it. But while you've got it, you can enjoy it.
Come on, Daniel. 2 to go. Stay focused. We can win this.
2 to go. The gap has been pretty much steady at about 4 seconds. I got no idea whether this is top split or not. 2.4k strength of field. Yeah, I'm flaunting my own advice. I'm putting it into first gear on some of these corners, and I really shouldn't be. So just in case any of you folks missed it, I'm likely going to be doing streams every Tuesday from this point on. It kills about 3 birds with 1 stone. I can improve at my streaming abilities. I can get my weekly dose of iRacing in, and it gives me more time to chat to you folks. Right, last lap coming up. Number 2 of the car, Yeeling Tang, has been slowly clawing away at that lead that I've obtained. After his incident, which we'll check out, we'll see what happens to him. After his incident, he was about 6-7 seconds away, and he's been clawing away ever since. So I'm definitely not safe. But I have been able to take it pretty easy. Yeah, the window, the light coming in through the window. And plus the blind's fully open as well. Oh. No, come on. Come on. Oh my god. Oh! Please no! Silly man. Silly man. Oh! You.
Hold your line. Still there. Hold your line. Still there. He's still there. Clear right. Car right. Clear right.
Gah! I mean, I don't really consider myself to blame for that. Come on! I'm going to end up bloody 3rd in a sec. What has happened?
Stay between the lines, please, Daniel.
What has happened there? There you go, that serves me right. It ain't over till it over. It ain't over till it over. Try again. It's not over till it's over, but I would not consider myself to be at fault there. I stuck to the outside line. The human brain is weird. so weird. It's almost like you can't really operate.
Well done, mate. That was
You can't really
absolutely
operate this
perfect.
car unless you're under
Great
high
work.
stress, and especially not in the rain. Well, that was a close call. So let's see what happened. Flipping heck. Blimey. That'll teach me. That'll teach me. Can you imagine how happy he would have been then? He would have just been, yes! There was some contact between his front quarter and mine, so let's have a look and see. I hang it on the outside. He just started slipping. He started slipping and drifting over onto my half of the track. So, unfortunately, that was going to happen every day. I thought that might happen. That would happen to me. If I took that line, that's exactly what would happen to me. It would wash out because that rubbered in line there, it's all fine going into the corner. See, he's on the dry line. It's really hard to see on stream, but this section of the track will be rough. So the dry line is basically here, and that's going to be the slippy bit. So he goes onto the rough bit, I go outside onto the rough bit, but whereas I can stay outside of the rough, I can stay stuck to the rough surface on the outside of the track. He inevitably crosses over the dry line here, and that means that he just washes out. He washes out, his car starts to slide, and yeah, I'm not taking the blame for that. Yeah, not taking the blame for that. It's unfortunate. It is unfortunate what happened to him. But you have got to expect. I'll give him all the space he could possibly need on the inside there. So much space there. It's just that my arc doesn't tighten at all. If I was to blame, I would put my hands up and say I'm to blame. But my arc pretty much stays exactly the same, but he cannot hold that inside line because that's where the rubber is. And as soon as he crosses over that, he's going to lose all his front grip and then all of his rear grip, and he's just going to end up bowling into me. So he's lucky really that he didn't take me out. But devil's advocate here, when you look at it from his point of view, it looks like I just come out of nowhere. It's almost like I'm trying to cross over. So I do see his point of view. At the time, he would have just been thinking, what the hell? So he's tracking out, and then all of a sudden my car comes out of nowhere from the left. So I do get it. I'm not blaming him for reacting with a couple of sarcastic thanks. But that is just a racing incident all day long. He had no chance to avoid it. Yeah. It's that same old thing again, whereby I mean, it's the best way for it to be, but the car that's behind definitely seems to come off worse when it comes to incidents like that. So let's just do this down here so you can see the steering. Put the exposure up a bit. So he's on the right hand side here. Right hand side, I've got to stay out on the rough stuff. Just got to catch it. Just got to catch it. Yep. Unfortunate, and I really shouldn't have I shouldn't have been in that position to do that anyway. Silly man. Silly man going off track because it takes so long to get back on the track. But he hasn't said much else, so there you go. And there, he's stuck on the slippery inside bit there. I'm able to use the dirty track on the outside, get a better launch. And the same thing here. I had a feeling I was going to get a better exit from this corner all day long. So if it weren't for that contact, if it wasn't for that contact, I think I would have been able to drop him before the next corner and then defend the inside. So there was no need for me to be in that position. With a 6-second lead from like lap 10, I didn't need to cut it so fine, I'm sure. I don't think I need to clip that. But maybe I will, just in case, so I can analyse it after. I'll put it in a PowerPoint presentation explaining why it's not my fault. Let's take a quick look down the field at who we have there. I like to check out people's paints every now and then. So there's me. This livery is pretty old now. I would say not too far off a year. This was created in aid of the understeer and oversteer video that was released back in 2023. Really, really good video, pulled in tons of views over time. I'm really happy with the way that one turned out. That one's just a blank skin, so to speak. Red Bull livery, standard skin. Pretty self-explanatory, that one. Train line. Oh yeah, that's Khalid Ramadan. We raced against him before in the UK Sim Racing League. Had some great battles with him. Brilliant stuff. That was actually when I was using the Logitech pedals with True Brake installed. That's the HKS kind of dragster livery. Lovely stuff. No. Get out. Right. Next race cracks off in 10 minutes. Same situation again. I'll give myself a couple of minutes just to let the dog out in case she wants a bit of fresh air. Yeah, won it. Only just by the skin of a teeth. Ah, just quit it. Didn't mean to press that. Just by the skin of my teeth. Second place spun. Was back about 6 seconds and then I kind of fumbled it. On the last lap, I went off onto the grass and fumbled it completely. Just registering for the next one. So the next Porsche race is the fixed setup side. That'll be in the dry, a lot faster, a lot more sort of exhilarating to watch, I would say. So bear with me a couple of minutes. I'll just pop and let the dog out because she probably wants a little bit of fresh air. I'll just leave you on a break screen for a couple of minutes and then I'll be back and we'll be cracking on into another Porsche Cup Series race, but this time it's for fixed session, so it'll be nice and dry and fast. So don't go anywhere. Be with you in a couple of minutes.
Fastest lap for Martinez, 153.4. The leader has just done a 151.4. The leader's just done a 149.5.
Back again. There's 66 people registered for the next Porsche Cup race. Seems like it's always popular. That's 65 masochists. Ah. Yeah, yeah, Faisal. I think the thing that affects people the most when they let's call it the intermediate stage. When you know how to drive, you know how to lap reasonably well, you can probably put in some really decent qualifying and practice lap times. So when your lap times are good, that's one thing. But keeping that up over a race pace when you're under pressure and you got to do it lap after lap after lap, that's the icing on the cake that takes so long to build up and kind of get a good idea of doing. It's definitely easier to be consistent on better equipment. But you can help yourself as well a little bit. Back in 2020 when I started doing this again, I found that I was also just kind of a little bit scrappy, especially towards the back end of a race when maybe I was getting a bit hotter temperature wise. You know, I've got 2 windows open right now because if I didn't, then my temperature would build. It would feel like it's almost like your brain gets hot. It feels like your brain gets hot, and the hotter you get, it's like the tyres. The hotter you get, the worse you perform. So you need a nice fresh breeze, and to just keep a little bit cool. And I used to get like an ice pack, like a face mask that was made of ice. It might actually still be in the freezer somewhere. Used to get a face pack made of ice and just put it on my face for a couple of minutes before every sort of every session. Just to make sure, a bit like how they wear ice packs in F1 to cool them down, so that they start at a cool level. That's the sort of thing I was doing. It's a common phenomenon. Like a dog with a bone. Once you're at the front of the pack, you don't know what to do. I'm sure that affects me as well. I always like to have somebody to focus on and chase down.
Exit's clear. Push.
Oh, that was rough. Let's try that again. So I'm just doing a couple of practice launches. I've tried wind and fan. I've tried having a fan in the room. It dries your eyes out. So, practice launch. Huh. Strange. So what is it about this that makes the...
Your pit exit looks clear.
This could be like a really, really green track or something. I'll have a look at the info in a sec. Okay, that's better. Hey Chaz. So clearly after doing 8 hours of Porsche Cup racing on Tuesday, I felt like I could come back for more and learn my lesson. So today is a nice little top-up session. Folks that are with us, Chaz is a fella that does a lot of sim racing commentary, broadcasting, production, all that kind of stuff for a handful of leagues, but he also does real life commentary as well. They're definitely worth a follow. If you were ever curious as to see how you can translate sim racing skills into the real world, very good example of it right there. You don't get that good without practice and hard work, so go check out his channel. That's where the Sim Racing Magazine GT4 League was also streamed back when I was taking part in that. Well, don't worry Chaz, you know, I'm on the receiving end of it enough to know it's nice to just have a nice word every now and then Love a good vouch every now and then. Right, leave practice and open the race. So, yeah, Kieran. The bike at the minute I don't have dual clutch pedals on this wheel at the minute. I just have shifter pedals, but I do have a clutch pedal. So I use the bike point system within iRacing. So you'll see it here in the options in iRacing. You'll see a clutch section. There's a bike point that you can set. Mine is set to 44%, and the launch trigger is just set to a button on my wheel. So that launch trigger is essentially doing the same thing as lifting one of the dual clutch pedals. So if you've used dual clutches or you've got them right now, you'll know you press both the dual clutches in, and then when the green lights go out, you lift one of those dual clutch pedals. That's basically what that launch trigger does. And then you're because I don't have dual clutches but I've got a clutch pedal, the clutch pedal acts as my other clutch pedal. So launch trigger, when I press that on my wheel, releases the first dual clutch pedal, and my foot coming off the clutch is doing the same thing as releasing the second dual clutch pedal. So it's just a way, it's a way to allow people with just a clutch pedal to be able to have launches that are as good as people with the dual clutch pedals. It just evens the playing field. They've not always had that, but if they didn't have that ability, then my launches would suffer right now. So I'm just going to do a little practice launch. A little bit scrappy. I'll do that again. Reset to the pits and try again. There's so much traction in these Cup cars. That is a lovely gold. That's the most convincing gold colour I've ever seen on a livery. Very impressive. And I must learn his secret recipe. So what's the deal there? Because it seems as though there's a bit of wheel spin there where I wouldn't normally expect it. Okay, wow, I'm the 11th seeded car. My car number is 11, so this is a very, very tough field. So on the grid, Jack Doohan was in the previous fixed session race about 2 hours ago. So I've got Jack Doohan there. We all know who that is. Josh Poulon. I released a video on TikTok and Instagram breaking down a little battle that me and Josh Poulon had yesterday. I didn't upload that to YouTube Shorts because YouTube Shorts is only 60 seconds or less, whereas TikTok and Instagram, they actually do like you to put stuff up that's a little bit longer than that. So unless I go back and chop those reels down, then I probably won't upload them to YouTube Shorts. It's still a bit of a black art what to do with that.
The track temperature's fallen. It's now 22 Celsius.
Might just be me, but this track feels very green, not rubbered in at all. Might just be me, maybe I don't know the difference. first flying lap starts now. A little bit wide of that apex, but don't want to chuck the baby out with the bathwater here. Come on, keep going. Definitely feels like a fresh track. So because I feel like the track might be a bit cleaner than it might normally be, it might be that my wheels will spin easier at the start, so I need to be more delicate about it. Right, this quali lap's just going to be a banker then because it's not very good on pace. That apex by a mile as well. There we go, banker lap at least. So at least if I completely stuff my second lap, I've still got a safety net. But that's not going to be impressing anybody.
E7.
Much better, much better. Late apex, style it out, turn the car in, get a good launch out. Wasn't as tight as I wanted it to be, but it's just damage limitation. Good turning. Good apex. Good exit. Okay, cool. Good exit. That felt good. So, if this lap stays how it is, this would be good enough for third at the minute. Ah, good curling. That's good, that. It's better. Still on course for third at the minute. People's times could change. That's where this lap is heading right now, if things stay as they are. Looking like a fourth.
The leader's just 149.4. P8. That puts you
Ah, flipping heck.
off the leader's pace.
Wow, okay. Yeah. Fair enough. Yeah, it looks like people came through with considerably refined times. Daniel, you get loads of stuff for free now, so if you don't want to spend anything above and beyond the base subscription, you don't have to. But most people spend it because they feel like they're just immediately addicted and they just want to get more of it, more of it, more of it. So they buy the tracks willingly. I would hardly call it a mandatory purchase. You can still take part in so much for free. You can definitely sample a very good cross-section of iRacing without spending a penny on additional tracks or cars. but most people just cannot help themselves. They get hooked on it, and like I did back in 2010, you get hooked on it and you just cannot help yourself. You just buy more tracks and cars because you're just so addicted to it. It's brilliant. And there are tons more free tracks and cars than there were back in the day. And there are some tracks that I bought back in 2010 and 2011 that are still in use now. So that's like $1. That's like 50 cents or 50p a year for use of that track. And I haven't really had to spend much at all in the past like 10 years, because once you get to saturation point, you can pretty much dodge any of them.
That's the end of the session. P8.
Certainly do. If you do try iRacing, then there's a referral link in the description. You don't have to use it, and you don't have to use mine. But do it for anybody that's helped you out, and it doesn't cost you anything more, doesn't tack anything onto your purchase, but it does give them some iRacing credits to kind of soften the blow on their end too. And also there's usually a big discount around Black Friday. So if you're not in any rush, then you could just wait for then. And if you have any further questions, then don't hesitate to come back and ask. I'm here to help with this sort of thing. Right. I suspect the track is green. I think that might mean that there's more chance for the wheels to spin on startup. So I'm going to go in with about 80% throttle. Just to be absolutely sure. And I think if any of these guys haven't realised that yet, if I'm right, and any of these haven't done a practice launch, we'll have to see. I could look like a fool in about 10 seconds. The track is going to be red after this turn 1 bloodbath. Here we go.
The track temp is 22 Celsius. 8th place. Okay, Daniel, nice and neat. Stay out of trouble. Green, green, green.
There we go. Good launch for me. Bad launch for the guy besides me. He cuts off Yearling Chang from my last race. And there's a casualty already. A couple of freebies. Nobody's to the left of me. He's gone. They're in the weeds. Little bit of contact there, but not enough. That's Jack Doohan in front of us right there.
This is great.
Shall we send it? So far so good. There's a 1.1 second gap between me and Tomasz. And it's getting longer all the time, so they're clearly fighting. That's really what I want here. Oh, those tyres are really, really close to locking up there. Very close. Little squirrel there. I think this is definitely going to be a This will be a scavenging race.
Awesome stuff, mate. Keep it going. E5.
Because I'm not going to be able to keep up with them on pure pace. They've just got that little bit extra pizzazz. But I'm not currently packing. But if any of them start fighting, then there's always a chance. If I'm close enough. I'm concerned by the presence of Martin Renhofer behind, because you know how some names just sound fast. Good exit. Right, I'm going to stick on the my trusty last lap delta.
Just done at 150.0. The car ahead has just done at 150.2. The guy behind has just done at 150.1.
Do they really? I'll have to check that out in the break then. This is Porsche Cup, mind you.
The gap ahead is now 1.2.
Oh, I could have done with that. Could have done without taking that curb to the chin. And dropping behind Jack and Martin Renhofer is just creeping up.
The guy behind is catching. The gap's now 0.8.
Hey James. Yeah, on again. Couldn't keep away. Just really fancy this.
You've just done it 150.
This is the fixed side of the Porsche Cup series, so no weather. It's always pretty much sunny and crisp in the fixed series side, whereas the open setup series is pretty much guaranteed rain of some kind. Yesterday, your brain must be as fried as mine was. It was Tuesday. Spent yesterday mostly with my feet up, trying to forget about Tuesday. Whose idea was that, honestly? But Tuesday was great. I enjoyed it very much. Had a lovely, massive, big banquet of racing. Some lovely moments, great races. No DNFs, no crashes, no nothing. What more could you want? Yeah, Jack Doohan right in front. He was in the race 2 hours earlier as well. It's quite exciting to be on track with recognisable folks. It's like collecting football stickers, that's what I said earlier. Oh, somebody's just sent it. Well, not sent it, they've probably been sent. Puff of smoke from the brakes there of somebody. That's quite slidey. And Martin is now within sniffing distance. There he is. We're going to have a fight on our hands soon. Yeah, the top 4 are just slithering away fairly gently. The real fight is behind me. Well, that's a good exit. Good exit. Kind of need Martin behind me to just kind of crumble. I'm hoping he's used everything in his reserves to get just onto the back of it. All I need to do is have a bit more stamina than him. And that's probably not the best way to do it either. Well, he was half considering a lunge. Good exit from there. Put a half a second gap between us. There's definitely a moment of inertia between the second to last and last corner, which is useful for getting it turned in.
Good consistency. Keep coming.
I think Jazz, I reckon if he was quick enough to get past, he would have definitely made a go of it at the minute. But I reckon this is a straight fight. I don't think there's going to be much I don't reckon there's going to be much use he can be of me if he was in front. Plus my Yeah, that's the spirit. Very, very good, aggressive. Right, he's 2 tenths behind. So I'm going to sit in the middle. I mean, he's deep on the brakes.
Still there.
Can I get around the outside?
Clear right.
That's it, we got it. Oh. Flipping it. Live to fight another day. Very clean from Martin. Isn't that the sort of racing you just want to cut up and put it in a sandwich? Very, very clean, respectful. Exactly what we want, but it's going to be the same here. He's so close behind us. 2 tenths. It's going to be the same story again. He'll be very brave putting it on the inside of there, but let's all put Piotrek. Piotrek's going to start causing him trouble soon if he catches up. This is tough now. Whoa, sugar! Man, that was a spin that lasted about. That spin took about flipping 5 seconds to manifest. Oh well, never mind. Let's get him back. Gods.
6.5 seconds.
Never mind. Still time. That's like one of the slowest. Yeah, that one really did come from the depths. You think it's under control and then just keeps on going. Bit silly, never mind. Mistakes breed mistakes, so I need to get back on it. Maybe Martin and Piotrek will start fighting now. I need to be within such a distance just in case they do, and it don't turn out as clean as it did between us two. Sugar indeed.
7th position. Yellow flag. Keep your wits
Yellow
away.
flag. See, it happens to the best of them. It happens to Jack Doohan. Right, I'm hoping that he's going to come back and start attacking them. I basically need them to start clobbering each other's ankles. Yeah, this is a strong grid. Just a shame. I would have loved to have been 5th right now. That would have been a nice. That'd have been a lovely scalp. No mistakes now. No worries, Stoney.
Sector 1 is 0.3 off the pace. Sector 2 is 2 tenths off the pace. Sector 3 times okay.
Come on. Just feels like there's more to happen here. If Piotrek starts nipping at Martin and then that drags him back into Jack and there's a three-way tangle, it could easily come back to me, so I've got to just keep on it. A couple of attempts could make all the difference here between being able to capitalise on that and being nowhere to be seen. Yeah, lock in. That's probably the best way to describe what I'm trying to do now. Just lock in, focus.
The leader is just 149.0.
Yeah, Faisal, the black poles for some reason, they're there but they're not there. You can see them but you can't actually hit them, and there's no penalty for sort of just basically ignoring them.
The gap behind is now 2.5.
I'd rather they weren't there at all. Or if you touch them you got an off track, just to discourage people from just blatantly crossing over them. But you know, whatever, you just got to play by the rules of the game you're playing, and if there's no penalty for crossing over them, oh, big lock up from Jack. So it's not as though you're going to hear like a dunk or a bang when you hit them black poles, because they're just not really there. They're just window dressing. Come on. Yeah, a race is not over till it's over. Pushing. That felt nice and clean.
Two to go. The lap time was at 150.1.
Piotrek's got past Martin, so we won't see any drama there. Yeah, so we have. That's good then. Managed to drop them. These last few laps I felt pretty good, really clean.
One more to go.
Last lap. Just so weird, the car feels so planted since that spin. Maybe that warmed the tyres up. Maybe I'm not being tough enough on the rear tyres. Yeah, the car's been really planted since then, whereas Jack's been locking up here left, right and centre, so he's definitely getting brain fade. Oh, the car feels like it's got rear end traction for days. Brake bias right now feels perfect.
Okay, Daniel, gaining on this car. The gap is.
I think it just leveled itself out. Plus maybe I reined it in a bit, was a bit more careful. Maybe it was defending so hard from Martin that cooked him. I was trying too hard. Because that can happen. Yeah.
Flag, caution.
Blimey.
Okay, we're done.
Things that help with race pace. I would say the number one thing that helps with race pace is having a
Man, dude, I don't know why you're braking there.
your consistency does improve if you use the delta bar on iRacing specifically. In practice and qualifying, I'll use the session best lap delta, but in a race, then I will usually use the session last lap delta, because that gives you like instant feedback as to whether you're quicker or slower than the last lap. And obviously, if you were to use session best lap, maybe session best lap might be a better one. If you're struggling with consistency to start with, then using the session best lap delta might be the best that you can do, because it will give you an idea of how you compare to your in-session laps. Or just go with my initial suggestion and use session last lap, because that gives you instant feedback and it's nice to have a target. And at some point you don't look at the delta bar, you can just see out of the corner of your eye the kind of a green bar and the number going up and down. So you're still focusing on the track, but you can see in the corner of your eye whether that delta bar is moving or shifting, and it can really give you immediate feedback. So oftentimes the first moment I know that I've broken. Sorry, let me try again. That sentence was completely undercooked. If I'm going into a corner and I've braked late for it, the first I know of that is that the delta bar is going positive, because it means that I've overshot. I'm going faster than I should be at that moment in time. And that immediately is feedback to me to go, hang on a minute, you've overshot this, rein it in. Whereas if I brake for a corner and the delta bar goes negative, that usually means that I've done it a bit too early, I might be slowing down a bit too fast, and I can let off just a tiny bit. So it takes a while to get that kind of instant symbiosis between yourself and the delta bar. But my race pace would be 100% worse, as in it would be guaranteed worse if I didn't use that delta bar, because it keeps me anchored. It's an instant feedback corner by corner, and that's the reason why these guys use these deltas. It's a way of benchmarking their lap that helps them very much. So what happened to What happened to me, I guess? What lap did that happen on? So, lap 7, I think. Oh no, lap 8. Hello, Review for the Tube. How you doing? Thanks for dropping by. And your consistent attendance on videos and stuff like that. I see your comments everywhere all the time. Trust me, everybody that you comment on appreciates that, because there's nothing worse than putting videos out and crickets. So I appreciate your comments and input all the time. So this was that just yeah, it just kept going. That was two attempts. You can see in the throttle bar. You can see 2 attempts to basically rescue that. So initially start slipping, back off the throttle, slipped again. It was just an unstoppable spin. And here's how it looks from Martin's point of view. Yeah, that was excruciating. Yes, that corner, because it goes slightly uphill, it's almost like it presses the car into the ground a little bit. And if you're having trouble by the time you get to that bit where it ramps up a bit, if you have a trouble by the time you get there, it's going to multiply it. So I need to just remember that. It's just the change in the camber and the elevation, I think, was just that little nudge it needed to go over the edge. There you go, live and learn. I wonder if Martin's still here. No, he's gone. Because that was a decent chase. I enjoyed that. So what happened at the start then? What did we do? What did we gain? Because we did jump a few places. The guy on the right got a bad launch. That meant I could shift over, just move over. And just front end, back end, crossed over there. There's a good chance that there's an element of netcode in there, possibly. But you know, these things happen. Cheers, Ed. Much appreciated. And same review for the tube. You do help us all out a lot. You know, I'm sure that you will. I'm sure you'll hear that a few times. But I appreciate the time you take to comment and give your thoughts, and I'm sure that everyone else feels the same. Before I sort of started uploading stuff to YouTube and sort of stepped over the fence into the creator side, I would have just lurked all day long and never really said much. I'd have just watched stuff and maybe throw in the odd comment here and there, but I would just kind of, you know, I'd be like you go to the zoo and you just hold your face up to the glass for a bit and then go, huh, and then move on to the next one. That's basically the modus operandi of a lurker, and that's what I'd have been like. So I appreciate it now. Now that I've seen it on the other side of the fence, folks that comment and like and all that kind of stuff, you're the lifeblood of all of this. It would be pointless without you. So I appreciate it, and Ed, much appreciated for signing up. I don't know whether you were here earlier when I mentioned this, but I do intend to do these kind of streams every Tuesday, because Tuesday is quite a convenient day to do this sort of thing. Tuesday's a good day to do this sort of thing because I've got a 1-year-old lad, and on Tuesdays that's the day when he goes to one of the nanas. And the good thing about nanas is that they don't send your kid home if they're even slightly ill, whereas childminders do, because they kind of have to. So I don't want to be sort of getting ready to do a day-long stream and then, you know, and it has to be interrupted by something. But that's parenthood for you. And when you get the chance to just spend a load of time with with you lot. It will help balance it out, because there's an awful lot of editing and script writing involved, and that feels like solid slogging work. Okay, the next race is at 1:45. Yeah, Monwaldi. It felt like when I said it at the time. Yeah, see you next Tuesday, you lot. Right, I'm just going to go on a break for a sec, and I will be back in a couple of minutes. I will be with you shortly. Don't go anywhere. surprise, back. Just registering for the next race. But I do genuinely think that I'll probably just put Porsche Cup on the bench until next Tuesday. So after today, I think that's probably my fill. You watch though. So the PC spec that I'm currently running, just joining the session. The PC spec that I'm currently running, I do list the spec. I should really put it in the description because obviously, you know. But it's RTX 3080 with a Ryzen 7 5800X and 32 gig of RAM. Attached to a 34 inch 34-inch ultra wide. Here we go. So obviously it's just a practice session, so there's no weather or rain or anything like that. The Porsche Cup does appear to be a very continental kind of series. Should probably wash these gloves after today.
There's traffic behind. Keep your wits about you. The leader has just done 154.5.
So right now, Ed, yeah, we had this discussion a little bit earlier to sort of bring a few more folks into the fold of dual clutch and that, but
You need to slow down, give back some time.
I'm using a clutch pedal at the minute. I would prefer to use dual clutch pedals, but they're on the Forte Formula wheel at the minute, and I've never moved them over to this, what I'm currently using now. I should really be off the racing line, shouldn't I? So in conjunction with iRacing's launch trigger feature, I can get just as good starts with the single clutch pedal as you might with a dual clutch pedal. mean, do I really need any more practice after the 10 billion million Porsche races I've done this week? So, clutch in, first gear. That was a good launch. More like that.
The pit exit is clear. Push now.
Oh, yeah, the session is about to tick over any second. Oh god, somebody was heading straight for me then. And it's raining. And it's very wet. Interesting. Interesting. Yeah, it's been raining for a while. And whereabouts are we? So we got some of the usual suspects, but none of the... There's a good chance that a lot of people dodge the Open Series because they don't like the rain. But I think they're missing out quite badly.
Nine litres remaining. The track temperature's decreasing. It's now 18 Celsius. 9 litres remaining.
Just popping a message to Yi Lin Chang. Not sure whether he's out there or not. There you go. Oh well. So it's going to be a thoroughly waterlogged race. At least there's no confusion as to what tyre to start on. Oh, that is a very wet track. Yeah, there's a distinct separation between wet and dry there, like sandpaper.
Nine litres left.
Here we go then. Okay, let's go.
Their exit looks clear. Stay behind the line. We have 2 laps to get the job done, mate.
Oh, this is a really This is a very British race. What's it like braking on the line? Terrible, 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 terrible. That's that's what it's like braking on the line. Let's not have that. But there goes my question. Well, that answers my question. So this is a thoroughly classic wet line approach. That's good. I'd rather find it out now on the out lap than on the quali lap. Isn't it so good? This time last year, iRacing rain was still a figment of everybody's imagination, and it's here and it's amazing. It's so good. Really is excellent what they've done. The most convincing deployment of rain. That's not going to help my start finish straight, is it? I'm still yet to kind of figure out what to do with that last corner. Oh, yes. Yeah. Just it's a step too far. Step too far. And again. Both of the open races that I've done today have been rainy, wets from the start. Yeah, certainly the open races have been pretty much everyone has had some form of rain, even if that's wet from the start or dry progressing to damp. Ooh, watch what I'm blooming doing. Right, well, we screwed that qualifying lap, so this really is last chance saloon now, otherwise we're going to be right at the back. Wouldn't be opposed to that. So treacherous. Whoa! Oh, a little snatch of the brakes. That was not comfortable. I thought I was going to be sailing up then. That dry line is just pure death. Jeez. Yeah, you can't change the engine map. And in honesty, the best way to modulate the engine is with the gears. And because it's not a turbo engine, it's actually alright. You can modulate it quite happily. But that was better.
The fastest lap for Williams, 2:07.0.
I mean, that's a quick lap. Yeah, that's a quick lap from pole.
P8.
Wow. Consider me humbled. Yeah, my that was not a good lap, was it? Wow. I thought that was okay. I'm right in the hurt section there, and I right in the middle of the pack. Oh, there you go. 2 seconds.
That's the end of the session. 8th place.
How is this going to go? I'd really like not to get punted out, because 8 Porsche Cup races on Tuesday, and like this is the the 4th one? 11:45, 12:45, 1:45, 2:45. Yeah, this is the 4th race. So that's 12 Porsche Cup races now where they've all been nice and clean. Ooh, 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 ooh. That's a bloody that's a qualifying set. Oh my god. Oh, good lord. That was a close one. Nearly started the race on qualifying fuel. How did I even notice that? I never normally go flicking through the menus, but something just compelled me. Right.
The track temp is 18 Celsius, P8.
Oh god.
Get ready. Floor it, green, green, green.
It's going to be horrible on the dry line here. Just going to skirt around the outside.
Still there. Hold your line. He's still there. Still there. Still there. Right side's clear.
Okay, damage control.
Okay, Daniel, decent start. We can build something from here.
Treacherous stuff. And it helps to dip a tyre on the grass on the inside there because it helps bring the car around. Jeez. Wow. Look at that. I got badly caught out by some standing water on the far left side there, so I'm not going to do that again. I don't play GT7 unfortunately, would like to though, but the time is not there. I've got to focus on my bread and butter, iRacing.
Position.
Still hanging on. And there's going to be some people making mistakes here. And that doesn't exclude me. Just that rain spray is just incredible. So convincing. Everybody's on just the knife edge.
That lap was at 2:07.4.
Wonder why he's backing off. Maybe he's had a slowdown or something.
Come on, that's the stuff. seconds.
Yeah, using Asetek Invicta wheelbase in a minute. Asetek provided that for review, so I didn't pay for it. So always acknowledge that. However, I was impressed with the La Prima. Asetek's La Prima bundle was brilliant. So it stood to reason that the Asetek Invicta would be good. I really like the pedals. They're great, but they're not for everybody. A review was recently released about them. I mean, they gel so well with the way I drive, but some people. Not everybody's going to get on with them. Oh, somebody's off. I feel your pain, Josh. I've been there and done that. Merely earlier today. There's still time for attrition to bite some of these people. I like Asetek's attitude and I like their stuff, but there's no denying it ain't the best looking of the lot. That's why it took so long. That's why it took so long for me to kind of give them a shot, because I just looked at the steering wheel and thought, nah, nobody's going to buy that. Not when they can buy something that looks a little bit more ordinary. And I guess I kind of felt like I was being a bit shallow, because the actual kit is really nice, really lovely to use. And I'm sure, now it's been a few years since they've been out now, so I'm sure they're taking all that feedback on board. Ooh, getting pulled into the blooming side of the track there, so was he.
205.5. Well done, Daniel. This is great. Come on, keep nailing that.
I would describe Asetek as basically
205.4. Your lap time was 207.5. Right side.
where's he going?
Clear right. Left side. Clear left. Okay, stay with it.
No contact on my end. No contact. I think that was him tangling with the car that went overshot. At this stage, it's a case of preference. If you just like the look of Asetek and you kind of like the way they're kind of, if you like the way they talk about stuff, if you like the fact that the CEO is really like present and it's obviously a big passion project, then you know that gives you a reason to choose Asetek. Otherwise, the price is so similar to SimiCube, but you might just think, well, they're the undisputed top dogs. But then you got to think about getting a SimiCube wheelbase and then some of a wheel and whatnot. That's why I say that Asetek feels like SimiCube but simplified somewhat, because you can get bundles and an ecosystem that all works together. And you can get that with SimiCube now, but that's only been a recent thing. Ultimately, I think they're all pretty decent. And you've just got to go with literally what you like the look of. Because that's how I pick stuff. Oftentimes I'll pick something because I think it looks great, and then I'll try and figure out whether or not I'm going to lose anything by picking them instead of something else. It's the same reason why, you know, I'm sure that a Porsche GT3 is the same price as like a Alfa Romeo 4C or something. I don't know what the price is. But why would you ever pick an Alfa Romeo 4C over a Porsche GT3 RS? It doesn't make logical sense. But some people still will, because they like the way it looks. Probably a bad example actually, the Alfa Romeo 4C probably ain't the best example. But you know what I mean. SimiCube is the logically best manufacturer to go with if money's not an issue. We've got Josh Poulon right behind us, and that is wide. He's going to get a better drive off there than I am.
Left side. Clear left.
Kind of floundering there. That was a bad sector. Very scrappy.
Hold your nerve, just keep it smooth. No mistakes.
God, there's very, very little of this racetrack which is actually grippy, you know. It's almost all waterlogged or rubber lined. Another way to slice it is that I think if Asetek had gone a slightly different direction with the aesthetics, they would have been a lot more popular, because the kit, the underlying quality of the kit is really hard to argue with. It's all worked beautifully for me, and it makes you feel like you've got a really complete kit. Big business production values, but sort of enthusiast level kind of attitude to things, whereby they're not scared to say this is how it should be, and there you go. And for a lot of people, the fact that they're a European company is a big plus, you know. Why am I chatting so much when I've got a really big fight on my hands here? I need to concentrate. Right. Whoa. That was an exit. But also there is a bit of chicken and egg here. I wouldn't have approached Asetek to check out their kit if I didn't think they're really deep, really good. I remember what drove me to finally check them out is that the CEO was so outspoken and confident on Facebook that it's kind of curiosity really. If somebody's willing to be that kind of brash, and he wasn't rude, but he was very, very self-assured. And if somebody's very confident, it kind of begs to be checked out. Right, really, really need to tighten up this corner, get on the grass a bit, pull the car in. That's it, there you go. One of the rare situations where the grass is going to help you turn the corner. Ooh. Stay the hell out of first gear. And stay the hell off that curb. He's got a run now. Is he going to make a move?
Car left. He's still there. Still there.
He's very, very, very brave.
Clear left.
Is he brave enough? Now he's going to wash out on the inside line here. He's going to be stuck.
Right. Car right.
He's going to be absolutely stuck.
Hold your line. Right side's clear.
Oh,
Car right. Right side's clear. Car
this
right.
is the best
Clear right.
wet weather battle that I have had so far. That's awesome. Look at that. Perfect. Perfect example of how all the rules just change. So, so good. Don't you just love it? But he's right behind me. I don't want to go in on the inside. And if he goes on a normal line, then he's going to go wide. So, come on.
Fastest lap for barrier, 204.6. Okay, Daniel, don't let this guy distract you.
Can I put up with this for 4 more laps? I don't know if I can. That was great though. That was so good. Oh, very, very deep. But a good drive out. This is hard work. This is mentally draining. He's not going to try again. And if he stays on that line, he's toast.
Left side. Hold your line. Clear left. All right.
Oh!
Still there. Right side's clear. On your right. Still there. Clear right.
Oh, good lord.
You need to push if we're going to hold this position.
That's it right there.
Clear left.
Bah! Blow my neck.
All about track limits. Come on,
Get the pressure on.
Don't panic. We'll get it back.
But in the end, just hit a patch and just skated on. Fair play, Josh. Now let's see if we can hold it. Oh. Okay, looks like we both had the same idea there. But this is not over. This is not over. This is so not over. Yeah, that puddle just sort of got me. There is still 3 laps to go. And he's made mistakes before. Is how we got in that position to start with.
The gap in front is now 1.1 seconds.
Don't give up. Josh! What on earth?
It's about track limits. Keep it between the lines.
There's something on that part of the track that grabs you, so I'm going to have to stay off that and take my normal line. I was looking to sort of emulate his line. There's still time, but I don't want to lose any more. Don't want to lose any more track positions to John behind. That was so good though, wasn't it? That for wet weather fighting. See, look, he's all over the shop. This ain't over.
The gap to Williams behind is now 1.4 seconds.
it's pretty blooming feisty for everybody. Ah. So Chris Wally has gone from like being well far ahead to not far ahead at all. Oh, he's up on the grass. He's up on the grass, and so am I. Inexplicably, why am I on the grass?
Tidy, please, Daniel.
Oh!
Clear left.
Must be an oil slick. That doesn't even make any sense. That just doesn't make any sense. How?
Still there. Clear left. P4. 2 laps remaining.
Oh no!
Right side.
Ah, front left just.
Track limits. Watch those lines.
Ah, you! Destiny, you cruel thing, man. Ah. Had it right there. Had it right there. How? Where's always next lap?
Alright, Daniel, you're reeling. Williams. The gap is now 2.5.
Just doesn't make any sense. How? It's never boring. Just sugar.
Alright, Daniel, you just cut the track. Barrier is getting closer. Gaps now. 0.8. V6. One more lap to go. Car right. Hold your line. Right side's clear. Don't give up. Keep him under pressure.
Blimey. Man. Ah. I am falling off. It's been a while since I've had such a severe cascade. Just a severe cascade. Blimey. Sure does. Mostly I'm just so I'm so glad that that was such an iconically brilliant wet weather battle. So good. But the car just feels totally different from the car that I started with, I'll tell you that.
Yellow flag. P7, that's the end of the race. Well done, mate.
Jeez. What a trial. Good Lord. That plus 10. That's what you need. Ah, dear me. Gotta watch out for them banana peels. I think this is probably a fair place to. This is a fair place to end things, I think. I feel squeezed out. But let's recap that. So what happened? Typical stuff. Good start from us. I didn't want to move over into the right hand side because I felt like that's where all the pain was going to be. So I just had to be tentative on that dry line and then join the rough wet line and try and hang it on the outside and get a better drive. I had to be really, really careful there not to lock the tyres up. And then slingshot around the outside, get a better drive off. But man, what a journey. Definitely saving that. Flip it up. Yeah, my brain is cooked. My brain is cooked, and I need to learn my lesson from yesterday. But let's have a look at what let's have a look at that. What happened? So what happened to Josh? That's it. So he basically went wide off there, and so did I in sympathy. But I made a better exit back on and could basically block him off from that. But then he was right on me, and I think he bumped in front of me because he didn't want me to. I think he just wanted me to get clear. And then coming up to this corner, I kept it there. Oh no, I went off, didn't I? Flipping heck. Forgot all about that. And then what? What else happened? And it went off again. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, so that's basically it. Just I was gifted that place. So I was gifted one place and then dropped it and ended up losing two. So damn. Damn. Okay. But yes, folks, I think here is where I'll leave you. I don't know what you guys classes all afternoon, but maybe I'll there might be another surprise stream between now and Tuesday, but definitely Tuesdays I think are going to end up being the streaming days because it's a nice safe day, childcare wise. The lad's not going to get sent home for any kind of sort of typical daycare childminder reasons, so Tuesday's pretty safe. So stick around for then, but I'll pop up a little I'll pop up a scheduled live session anyway, so you'll see it pop up on your YouTube homepage, hopefully. But wow, what a session! And thank you for riding along with me. It's always much better when I know that folks are in the passenger seat, as it were. And I hope you will have a lovely rest of your day. I'm going to get a cup of tea on and chill out, because that was a pretty intense Porsche Cup session, if I don't say so myself. So thanks to those watching, those who I've raced with along the way, if you're coming and checking it out after the fact. It's been a pleasure. An awesome little racing session. But man, the Porsche Cup does take it out of you mentally, and especially in the rain. In the rain, the Porsche Cup is just so mentally taxing. It leaves you feeling like a squeezed lemon. So enjoy the rest of your evenings, the rest of your afternoons and evenings, and thank you very much. And I will see you Tuesday, unless stated otherwise. Love it. See you guys again.